Hey guys, in this video I wanted to show you how I track UTM parameters in Gravity Forms. So here I just have a sample form, and here at the bottom I've just added the hidden fields for the UTM parameters. So I have source, medium, campaign content, and term. So I just dragged hidden field from here, and I just changed the label. And the main thing to note here is you have to click on this advanced tab and enable this option that says allow field to be populated dynamically, and just give it a name. And what this will do is actually allow us to populate this field through different methods. In fact, I have this Gravity Forms doc in which they explain all of the methods you can use to populate that hidden field. The easiest one is just it retrieves the value from your URL if you have it as a search param. So if, for example, let me just save my form and go to my contact page. So if I'm here and I just search, inspect my form and look for the hidden fields, let me just, so this one right here, field 1.5, it's my UTM source field. So if I just look for the input tag, here you'll notice it has no value currently, right? But if I pass a query param of UTM underscore source equals test source and refresh the page, and if I inspect that same hidden field, here you'll see it now has the value of test source. So this is great. However, what if if the user didn't reach this page directly, right? What if they arrived here to my home page, and here I have my UTM source. Let's give it a 2, just to make it different, and they're browsing, they're here, and then they navigate to my contact form. So that query param is lost, but I still want to attribute like this user to that marketing campaign. So what can we do to solve this? So the method I have found is to use this hooks method. So in your functions.php file or your code snippets plugin, you can add this filter, and you can just create some logic to dynamically populate that field. So what I'm going to do actually is first I'm going to install my code snippets plugin. So let me just go to plugins, add a plugin, search for code snippets, and I'm going to install this WP code plugin and activate it. And now I have this code snippets tab right here. So we actually are going to need two code snippets. The first one is to retrieve the values of the UTM parameters from the URL and store them in the browser as cookies. So this will be a JavaScript snippet. So let me just create that one first. I will just add a custom snippet. I will select JavaScript. And here let me just copy and paste so you don't have to watch me type all of this. And I will explain. So this is my JavaScript code. And what this does is here I just have an array of the UTM parameters. Remember, these are the names that we gave the dynamic fields. So we then have a function that allows us to set a cookie. We pass it a name, a value, and the number of days until that cookie expires. Okay, so the next thing is we have this function to, not function, this code to first retrieve the URL params, and then for each one of these UTM fields, we iterate through them, we look for it in the URL params, and if it does exist, then we set a cookie with its value for 30 days. So this is all that the JavaScript code is doing. Now I'm going to change this so that the code is not in the header, but rather the footer. Shouldn't make a difference, but let's just put it there. And then let's just activate it and save snippet. And actually, let's give it a name, and this will be save UTM parameters as cookies. Okay, and hit update. Okay, so now if I go to my contact page, and let's just do UTM source equals test source 3 and hit enter. Actually, let's just do that in the home page. So if I'm in the home page and I do UTM source equals test source 3 and hit enter, and then I just inspect my page, go to the application tab, go to cookies, click on my website, and here you'll see I have this cookie with the name of UTM source and a value of test source 3. So now we know our JavaScript snippet is working. Now the second snippet we need is going to use this filter, gravity forms filter. So this will be a PHP snippet. So let's go to snippets and add new, add custom snippet. This will be PHP. Okay, so we'll give this a name of, let's just give it read UTM, read UTM cookies in gravity forms. Okay, so let me just grab my snippet and paste it here. So we have this helper function to set, well, read the value from the cookie if it exists. So if it first checks if we have this UTM key, and if we do, we return it, and if we don't, then we return an empty string. Okay, so then we have our UTM parameters array, and then right here what we do is add a filter like this gravity form filter for each of our UTM parameters. So so this first part of the string stays just like that, and then we put the name like our dynamic field name, so UTM source or UTM medium. So this is the part that will change. So that's exactly what we do right here. We just add for each of our UTM params, we add a filter, and we leave this as gform field value, and then append UTM param here at the end, and that's pretty much it. And well, here we return whatever this function gives us. So if it's there, it will return the cookie value, and if it's not, then it will return an empty string. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Let me just activate this code snippet and hit update. Okay, so we have our two snippets here. So we can do a test now. Let me just change this. Well, I'm going to the home page. Let's do UTM source equals test source 4. Hit save. Then I will navigate to our contact us page. You'll notice we don't have the UTM source in the URL anymore, but if we check our cookies, now we have this new value of test source 4, and we can check our hidden field, to check and see if the value of test source 4 is there. So let me just click here, okay, and search for field 15. And here's the input, and here you'll notice the value is test source 4. So it looks like it's working. So let me just submit a form here. Let's just give it test4, test4@email.com, and this is a test, please ignore, and hit submit. Okay, so let me just go back to my admin and hit forms, entries, and here you'll notice I have my entry with a value for UTM source of test source 4. So that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to show you. I hope you find this useful, and see you in the next one.